More often than not, we remove ourselves from issues and problems of animals being extinct and under the threat of non-existence in future. But one very creative and hard-working international organization has found a way to bring interest and awareness to the matter and to encourage active participation to the issue of saving endangered species. Now, the Saving Endangered Species International Playwright Prize invites thespians from all over the world to submit their plays and then selects 10 of the best from them. Mpumalanga-based Goodenough Mashego's play titled The Last Show is one of the top 10 which were chosen this week for the year 2016. They were chosen out of more than 200 international entries, and the 10 will be staged at the Odyssey Theatre Ensemble as part of the Saving Indigenous Species Prize benefit performance for the Jane Gooddal Institute. The filmmaker, writer, columnist, blogger, journalist, rapper, political analyst, publisher, civil society activist, and author joins us now to tell us more. Phew. Now, there's too many titles, eh?
That's a lot, eh?
All right, tell us more about how you came to win this prize and give us a bit of background about it.
Yeah, around last year, I think September, October, I was just browsing for opportunities on the internet, and I came across this opportunity whereby this prize was being run, and they just wanted people to focus on a specific animal that you think needs to be saved, and you just need to come up with 4 characters and one setting. 4 characters, one setting, and then you need to tell the story there. So it needed to be a play. So, being the person that I am, I sat down, put pen to paper, and came up with the last show, and then I entered. Months passed by, and I think around 2 weeks ago I just got an email to say congratulations, you have won, you are one of 10 people, and so they send the name, so they show me the name, they send me a PDF of all the people who have won, and they're scattered all over the world, they're far older, and so that's how it came about. And then they sent me an invite to say, we'll appreciate if you can come for the staging of the play, because that opportunity can be used for me to talk about these issues, issues of conservation, which is issues that we are confronted with here in South Africa, especially where I come from in Mpumalanga. We border the Kruger National Park, and there's been this escalation of poaching and escalation of lots of other things. So they said, come through so you can use the platform, and I said, wow, I'd like to come,
Now, you've been telling a lot of great stories, but what makes The Last Show different from all the other stories?
I think what makes The Last Show different is because it's a story about our common heritage, something that we need to pass over to our kids, because we inherited these things. We never inherited dinosaurs, for example. We just read that there used to be dinosaurs. Maybe because around that time our parents were not smart enough to write The Last Show and conscientize people about it. So for me it was because, here we have this heritage, we've got the rhinos, we've got the different kinds of animals that are under threat right now. So I thought, let me use this opportunity to tell this story. So it's more of a intimate story for me, because it's a service that I'm not doing for now, but I'm doing for the future generations.
Now, what would you want the viewers locally and all around the world to ultimately take away from The Last Show?
I think viewers from around the world, what they need to take away from The Last Show is the underlying message first and foremost, and the fact that it's our responsibility now. And that it's something that, it's like when you put your kid through high school and invest money into school and take them to varsity, you are not doing it for yourself, you are doing it for your child. So I think the message that needs to be taken away is that we must look at these animals, this heritage, and say, you know what, are we going to create more dinosaurs out of rhinoceros? Are we going 200 years from now, they're going to say, there used to be an animal called rhinoceros, it had a horn, and our ancestors, they cut the horn because they had all these exotic ideas about it. So that's the message I want people to take. Not only for me as the rhino, but I think globally people must also look at the issue of whaling, the issue of python skin. We love things made of animal skins, issues of polar bears and all these other things. So that's the message that I want people to take away from this play.
Now, the production will be staged in April 4th in California. Is there any chance that we could be staged in South Africa?
There should be that chance, because the current contract that I have actually says they've got the right to stage it the first time around. So after that, the rights revert back to me, the staging rights revert back to me. So I would actually want that to be staged in South Africa. I'm looking at, art and culture, because we need to be able to tell our stories. For me, like I said, I told somebody, I said, look, for me, for them taking the play going to star in all-American cast with an American director, it's like I sold them grapes, not wine, when I was supposed to be selling them wine, you know. And so I felt it needs to come here. It can star South Africans. It can be directed by South Africans. It can be contextualized really on South African issues. So I'm crossing my fingers. Arts and Culture Mpumalanga, I've spoken to them, and they seemed very promising in the past week. And I'm quite confident that they'll come through, you know, that they will provide the money for me to go there so I can network, you know, for other opportunities on how we can be able to spread it in the country. But I'm hopeful that they in Mpumalanga and even national, they should look into having this play here, because the issue of rhino poaching is the biggest thing. More than 200 were killed around last year. So it needs to be a national emergency. So
what other projects can we expect from you in the near future?
In next month, you can expect, it's not related to plays. Next month, you can relate. I'm also a poet, as you mentioned. My CD is coming out. I'm also doing 2 direct-to-DVD films this year, because I'm also a filmmaker. I've got artists as well, and my artists EPs are coming out end of this month.
You're too busy here.
I'm too busy, and I'm also putting out a short story collection this year. It's a couple of it's a lot. It's a couple of projects.
All right, good enough. Thank you so much for talking to us. Congratulations again on that. He's a filmmaker, writer, as you heard. He's a columnist, blogger, journalist, rapper, political analyst, publisher, civil society activist, author, and award-winning playwright Goodenough Mashego, whose play titled The Last Show will be part of the 10 plays picked out of more than 200 international entries to be staged at the Odyssey Theatre Ensemble. All right, let's take a break. Stay with us.